So hi.
Hi.
I'm the only one on the stage who is not officially a politician yet, but I do aspire to be one and to lead the Alberta NDP and become the next Premier of this province. For those who don't know me, I've spent the past 19 years serving as the elected president of Alberta's largest worker advocacy group, the Alberta Federation of Labour. And before that, I spent 15 years as an activist and a staff person in the labour movement. And for that reason, this is actually a special night for me, especially hearing the moment of silence for Beryl Scott, who was a dear friend of mine. And if you knew her, and I think many of you did, you know that she was also an activist in the labour movement. And she was a fixture. She was there when I became an activist. She was at every rally, every demonstration. And then when I was elected president, she served on many of our committees. And she led well, and she inspired a lot of people. And so it was very moving for me to hear that special word of request for silence today. It was also special because Beryl had retired a few years ago, and she's been very sick lately. But during Black History Month, we hosted a movie showing, and Beryl showed up. I was able to sit with her, and I didn't know that she had that little time, but I was able to tell her how much she meant to our federation and how much she meant to me personally. And so, sorry. I do want to just address one point that Funky made, and I think it's entirely appropriate for your organization to talk about nonpartisanship. I think it's entirely appropriate to invite representatives and leaders and candidates from all the provincial parties, and it's entirely appropriate for you to maintain dialogue with both the government and the opposition. But I think we have to acknowledge that ideology matters, that party positions matter, and that track records matter. And I think we can say with a lot of confidence that when it comes to the issues that you as a community care about, the New Democrats are much more well aligned with your values. They are much more likely to help you achieve your policy priorities. And they are also, as we can see today, attracting. There's a reason why they're attracting such great candidates from your community to run as candidates for the party and win seats in the legislature. The New Democrats have the largest Black caucus because people from your community understand that the New Democrats are the best party for your community. So that leads me to the big reason why I chose to throw my hat into the ring as a candidate for the leadership. And that's because, like you, many of you, and like everyone on the stage, I came to the conclusion that it's critically important for the future of our province, for the things that we value in this province, for our kids, for our grandkids. It's critically important to make sure that the UCP does not win the next election. They are literally a threat to our future. But before we can defeat Daniel Smith and the UCP in 2027, we have to understand why we lost in 2023. And while it's true that it was a very close election and that the NDP under Rachel Notley, who in my opinion is a politician of generational significance, she turned Alberta from a one-party state into a functional two-party democracy. And that was an incredible legacy that she's built for us. But in order to win, we have to understand why we lost. And as the leader of Alberta's labour movement, I have some insights that I want to share with you, which I think are really significant in terms of how we win next time. And the insight is that we lost Oh my gosh, did I do 5 minutes already?
You took a minute per barrel, Moose.
I took a minute per barrel. Okay. Do you mind if I just finish that thought?
No.
Okay. So the polls tell a really important story. And what the polls tell us is that we won among people who identify themselves as middle class. We won handily among people with university education, but we lost to the UCP among people who think of themselves as working class, many of the people who I represent, and who have high school, college, and trades education. That hurts my heart as someone who represents working people. It hurts my heart as a 38-year New Democrat. Our party is losing the people who we were established to represent. And so there's a missing piece in our coalition. I feel like as a labor leader, as a longtime New Democrat, I'm uniquely placed to figure out how we bring working people back to the party, fill that missing piece, create that winning coalition so that we can win not just in those 6 ridings that we were close in Calgary, but in every riding in this province. And I think that we win by remembering where we came from, and we win by becoming more New Democrat, not less.
Mm-hmm.